More legal trouble for Philly rapper Meek Mill. He appeared in court today over his recent run-ins with the law.
I'm at a point in my life like we all grew up in the streets and we try to be better, but I had to fight against that the whole time to gain my respect and be who I am today.
Whenever history's being made, you guys know I like to talk about it. And these two made history by being the first two males in the hip-hop industry to openly have sex with each other.
You know, some court docs leaked.
Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he engaged in sex, of course, with rapper 5, redacted. 5 being he is a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Well, that's too narrow.
You know, this is one of the biggest moments in hip-hop history that we gotta celebrate because it's 2024.
And it explains these videos very well because the voice you hear is Sean Diddy Combs himself.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy.
Cause P. Diddy be wanting the body, and you gotta tell him no.
I mean, just look at how he looks at this man when he performs. This is some true love I didn't know about.
There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they gotta keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head. You know, but when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
We do this shit for our family, our sons, whatever they taught us in the streets. We grew up looking up to niggas. I looked up to like Papa, I was on TV, I was so far gone. We grew up looking up to niggas on the corner that was on the corner for 25 years, and then I got in the game, and I got a chance to brush shoulders with niggas that set family legacies. You ready?
I'm ready. You ready?
Next up, for real. I see you with your pop. A nigga that's rich getting money, appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I got a son now. I ain't had no pop. I got a son now, so I'm trying to do it like that. Where I'm in somewhere in the middle of California. I got a house. My son got a house. My son getting money. I'm getting money. That's what we doing it for. Me and our whole family. Shout out to the Combs fans, for real. This shit for real. Yeah, no, hell yeah. Puff took the sacrifice. Now it's on. Now it's y'all turn. Streets over here. We do this for our family, our sons, whatever they taught us in the streets. We grew up looking up to. I looked up to like, but I was on TV, I was so far gone. We grew up looking up to on the corner that was on the corner for 25 years, and then I got in the game, and I got a chance to brush shoulders with that set family legacies. You ready?
I'm ready. You ready?
Next up, for real. I see you with your pop. A nigga that's rich getting money, appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I got a son now. I ain't had no pop. I got a son now, so I'm trying to do it like that. Where I'm in somewhere in the middle of California. I got a house. My son got a house. My son getting money. I'm getting money. That's what we doing it for. Me and our whole family. Shout out to the Combs fans, for real. This shit for real. Yeah, no, hell yeah. Puff took the sacrifice. Now it's on. Now it's y'all turn.
Meek Mill is finally speaking out in court, and what he's sharing about his past with Diddy is turning heads. After years of quiet rumors and side comments in the industry, Meek's statement is clearing the air about what really went on behind the scenes. Once known for their flashy friendship, rocking coordinated looks, hitting high-profile parties, and appearing side by side at major events, Meek and Diddy were once seen as the face of hip-hop brotherhood. But now, Meek's courtroom comments are offering a different perspective, one that fans have long wondered about but never heard confirmed, until now.
I'm not surprised that now we have men stepping forward with their own lawsuits, well, specifically one man, but he name-dropped a few people.
He name-dropped Meek Mills, bro.
He alluded to Meek Mill.
Talking about a Philly rapper that dated Nicki Minaj in the lawsuit.
He alluded to Chris Brown, too. He alluded to Cuba Gooding Jr.
I could believe that. Bro be tweaking. I seen it breakdancing with big-ass eyes at, I forgot where he was at, but it was just looking like, isn't that from Snow Dogs? That tripping.
Like, what? That is so random.
Yeah.
Usher.
I could also low-key believe that.
I be side-eyeing Usher. I like Usher too, but
oh my god,
I be side-eyeing him and the Biebs, their early relationship.
He just turned 30.
Biebs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Happy birthday,
Look at him.
bro.
He ain't right.
Everything started to unravel when Diddy's empire began to fall, and those closest to him got caught in the fallout. The headlines were already loud, but the real shock hit when longtime producer Lil Rod Jr. filed a lawsuit that unexpectedly mentioned Meek Mill. Suddenly, Meek wasn't just a bystander. He was part of the conversation. Social media lit up. Blogs, podcasts, and tweets all zeroed in on one question. Why was Meek's name in the mix? Was it a simple mistake, a strategic distraction, or was his connection to Diddy deeper than anyone realized?
Wait, what the I forgot. Look, Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in intercourse with rapper 5, that's redacted. Look, 5, he's a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Yo, Meek, we were playing around with that Michael Rubin, but if you don't, you've been tweeting about everything on planet Earth. If you don't get a Twitter rant saying you about to get Lil Rod killed, you about to shoot up his block, blow his mama's house up, this is saying that you and Diddy were fornicating. What the Meek?
Once Meek Mill's name appeared in the lawsuit, the internet went into full-blown detective mode. It wasn't just about his ties to Diddy anymore. Things turned personal. Suddenly, fans were asking hard questions. Was Meek manipulated, or was he in deeper than anyone knew? Then came a twist. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, jumped into the conversation. He didn't say much, but what he did say was just cryptic enough to spark a frenzy. With just a few words, he added fuel to a fire that was already burning through social media.
Meek Mill, you gotta respond. You have to reply expeditiously. You go on Twitter rants for less, bro. I need you to come to the stage in full deniability mode. Cause what is this, bro? What is this? Lil Rod is claiming that Diddy said he did something to you. And Usher. And I don't even know why people aren't mentioning Usher in this situation. Everybody's hung up on Meek Mill. But I think it has something to do with how Meek Mill be glazing up Rick Rubin and them. Now the Stevie J thing, that's really wild. I don't know about any of this. But Meek, you of all people, you have to reply. Everybody else could just not say anything. The fact that they redacted your name but said he's a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj, there's only one.
Feeling the pressure, Meek Mill quickly went into damage control, but not the usual kind. Instead of laying low like most celebrities in legal storms, Meek took to social media in full force. His posts were heated, and DJ Academics became his main target. Meek fired off intense tweets warning critics to back off. But Academics, never one to shy away from conflict, clapped back immediately. The back and forth lit up the internet, with fans glued to every update like it was live TV rather than clearing the air. Meek's public outbursts raised more questions. His tone was defensive, and the more he said, the more chaotic things seemed.
You missed this. Meek Mills. Well, he said a Philly rapper. You understand? And it was redacted in the paperwork to that because first of all, it had Meek Mills, it had Stevie J, they had redacted their names, and they had Usher, and they redacted their names and just said a performer of the Super Bowl and a Philly rapper. Everybody kind of knew back in the day that Meek Mills and Puff was a little too friendly. Anytime two rappers or two people in the industry come dressed up alike on more than one occasion, listen here, man. My dudes in Philly, I got some real strong dudes in Philly. They don't play that shit. And they probably embarrassed for the fact to see that Meek Mills, one of the street guys that came out of there, got caught up in this Hollywood shit. This Hollywood shit, whereas that he's dressing like, he dressing the same shit. He dressing like Diddy? Hugged up with Diddy? I think that Lil Rod know a lot of shit, but I know this. Two men dress alike, it's just like two men laying down. When they both get up, they both homos. And that's real talk, bruh. My man, you go to a party, dog, and the nigga got the same shirt you got on, I'm taking my shirt off. I'm walking around in a t-shirt. And then, not to blow Meek Mill up out the water or anything like that, it was said that they checked his Google search and all the other shit, and he was searching for some online gay porn and all that other shit like that.
Oh, wow.
That shit is crazy, bro. But listen, those are what, you know, it's crazy that money, that lifestyle, and you trying to fit into something get you. These guys never set out to do all this shit. Meek Mills, when he got into the game, he didn't set out to be questioning about his manhood with Diddy. But he put himself in that position.
Meek Mill's attempts to shut down the chatter backfired badly. The internet ran wild, turning the moment into full-blown content. Memes swarmed Twitter and Reddit, poking fun at Meek's connection to the drama surrounding Diddy. One viral post even claimed the feds found him during a raid on Diddy's mansion, using a clearly fake image that still went viral for laughs. But things got even more intense when fans began re-examining a party Diddy allegedly threw for Meek back in 2014. Valued at around $25 million, the event was known for tight security and extreme secrecy. At the time, it just seemed like peak hip-hop excess, but in hindsight, online sleuths started questioning the real purpose behind the celebration. Old photos, videos, and rumored guest lists resurfaced, adding more layers of speculation. What once looked like a wild industry party now had people wondering if it meant something more. Whether those claims hold any truth remains to be seen, but for Meek, the internet's verdict is already complicating his narrative.
Meek Mill just responded to the Diddy allegations in the worst way possible. So in case you haven't heard, Diddy's getting sued by one of his older DJs. And in the lawsuit, it implies that Diddy had a certain relationship with somebody from Philly. It doesn't say who by name, but it says that he's a rapper from Philly and he dated Nicki Minaj. Nothing has been confirmed, but people have been saying it's allegedly Meek Mill. And he just responds by threatening AK. I don't know why he blamed him, especially since everybody online was saying the same thing. But he basically just said the industry's after him because he's independent. So according to Meek Mill, all of this is made up and it's all because of the industry. I don't know, man. What y'all think about that?
Meek says, I want to hire an investigative team, $100K cash, to find out every specific detail involving Meek Mill name to the Diddy case. I also want him to look at who is powering this media involving Meek. Anything to do with Buddy, something's not right. The streets know what's up with me. That's not the case. We talk about a business side. Somebody's powering these bad campaigns with Meek Mill. Again, I got $100K for a thorough investigation of who's powering and how exactly my name is connected to this. Meek, just transfer me the $100,000. I got you, brother. I'm gonna show you exactly right here. This is how I'm gonna give you all the proof in like 5 minutes, so we're gonna get back to this Dove case. All right, here's all the proof right here. This is how he got connected to it. Nobody's funded it. Put it like this, Meek, you couldn't get a $100,000 contract for a record deal right now. Trust me, nobody's wasting $100,000 or more to fund media to make up some on you, okay? And by the way, here's the thing too. People just think it's funny. Yo, how has this really been alive for like 40 years, been using the internet for 20 years, and still don't get it. Like, still don't get this. Shit is like ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous. Meek Mill pool daddy. This is how, bro. If these videos didn't exist,
man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
My first thought was simple.
come on, Chad. Come on, Chad. Now, Meek, I know you're not the sharpest knife in the tool set, but if you weren't looking exhausted in the pool, look like you may have, you know what I mean, look like you were exhausted after slipping and sliding on baby oil, you look like you just went through a marathon, possible freak off. If you weren't looking like this with the complimenting you, calling you daddy, saying you deserve it, all while you're shirtless and looking so, you look like just worn out. And you're responding to it, calling you daddy.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you.
I appreciate, I love you too. Now that's one. Now, here's the next thing. If you didn't realize it was probably a good time to go home and change, when you and Diddy had matching shirts and matching drawers, and y'all took a picture with a midget in a public event, all while you were leaning in like a proud side chick, we wouldn't have nothing to say. And by the way, again, ain't nobody even think, well, I don't really think he gay. I just think this is funnier. I think it's funnier. You get what I'm saying? Now, I'm not gonna play that little audio because I think that audio is fake. I don't know. You know the audio like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, now, the other things that just don't make you look that good, when you were shopping, oh, I think it's still up there. When you were shopping accidentally for vibrating panties, which people would say are freak-off supplies. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it would have been better if you said, I need some baby oil. Can I get that on? You said vibrating panties with the remote. Bruv. Now, that wasn't also the worst one.
Then came a twist from the property owner of the mansion, where Diddy's now infamous 2014 party reportedly took place. In a recent statement, the landlord claimed that night was unlike anything the estate had ever hosted before. Describing the atmosphere as highly unusual, they recalled strict confidentiality rules for staff and a level of secrecy that raised eyebrows. According to the owner, the event featured dramatic visuals, like high-end food presentations and performance art, that created an intense, almost surreal vibe. The host team reportedly went to great lengths to ensure privacy, with non-disclosure agreements and tight security throughout the night. What exactly unfolded remains murky, but the landlord's account has added more intrigue to an already controversial moment.
Video footage from a birthday bash Sean Diddy Combs threw for his friend Meek Mill in April of 2014 has surfaced in the midst of the disgraced rapper's trafficking arrest. According to Daily Mail, the party was held at a Parisian palace in Las Vegas that Diddy rented for a whopping $25,000 for 24 hours, which, according to the property manager Jason Haidt, was left in a disgusting mess after the wild get-together. He told the publication, quote, there were broken bottles of alcohol, used condoms, blood on the beddings, powder, razor blades by the hundreds, lubricant on the dressers, and marble floors. Jason claims he also, quote, found panties, bras, and even 2 iPhones in the bushes behind the bowling alley. Diddy's personal assistant relayed specific requests for the party, including bringing their own smoke detectors and that all interior bedroom door locks were to be ordered new and left unopened for their arrival. The property manager was given a rough estimate of 850 guests for the mansion party. However, 900 guests showed up. Jason claimed most of the guests participated in, quote, fueled festivities and described Diddy as being wasted. He said the party ended around 3 a.m. and claimed there was rampant use all over the $7.5 million property.
Yeah, rich niggas from the ghetto doing that metal. I'm with Diddy on another level. Yeah, bitch, man, get your shovel. I'm a guy, give me lit. I'm talking shit. I'm on the mic trying to rap to my thing. Bust a move, bust a move.
And just when it seemed like things couldn't get more unsettling, former bodyguard Gene Deal re-entered the conversation with a chilling new claim. Reports of unexplained stains found on bedding at the party property. No one could confirm how they got there, why they were present, or who was involved. But as usual, Gene's comments sent shockwaves across the internet, stirring up even more speculation.
He threw a freak-off party for Meek Mill. In April of 2014, Diddy threw a freaky birthday bash for Meek Mill, and the caretaker has came forward and explained all of the crazy things that he saw after the party was over, and also gave the Daily Mail a tape of this party. Diddy threw this party 3 days after Meek Mill's birthday, but he specifically wanted it to be on the night of a Floyd Mayweather fight. The caretaker said that the following day the bedrooms were disgusting. There were broken bottles of alcohol, used condoms, blood on the beddings, powder, razor blades by hundreds, lubricant on the dressers and on the marble floors. He found panties, bras, and even 2 iPhones in the bushes behind the bowling alley. And what's even worse, in the video that this man had, there was a woman who was used as a sushi platter. And this is horrific to even see, and then to know that it's sushi that you're putting on this woman on top of that. Like, what the hell? The caretaker also said that Diddy and his team requested double-sided locks for the interior of the bedroom doors, and they wanted them to be unlocked for the guests' arrival. Diddy requested that all the interior bedroom door locks needed to be ordered new and left unopened for the arrival for security purposes, as they would need to supervise the installation. And both keys were given to Diddy directly and nobody else. Now you're really sounding like you're trying to hold people in a bedroom against their will, Diddy. What are you doing? The caretaker said that he told Diddy the rooms already had locks and they also had huge doors because this was a very fancy mansion, but obviously Diddy didn't care. Diddy paid $25,000 to rent out this mansion for Meek Mill's freaky party, and there was 850 guests at this party. Here's French Montana, Meek Mill, and Diddy giving a speech at this party where this caretaker found really disturbing after the party was over. And not to mention the woman laying on a table looking like she's scared to death with sushi all over her. Of all things, raw fish. This is absolutely crazy. But
they show a couple pictures. These are the cars that were awesome in 2014. Pictures that we saw. This is the woman as the sushi platter. That's kind of wild. The mansion was crowded with celebrities shuffling through the mass of people, accompanied by their entourages of bodyguards and trophy women. Lingerie-clad dancers performed provocatively on set-up stages. They dressed women up and posed around the various rappers for photos. In one scene, a girl was laid out on the table naked with only one tiny piece of vinyl covering her front body for hygiene purposes, as rows of sushi were framed on around her while workers offered bottles of sauce. The partygoers smiled into the camera, posing with their friends. At one point, Mill, Montana, and Diddy stood up on an elevated platform to give a speech, laughing with each other as one partygoer shouted to see if there was liquor up.
After days of silence, Meek Mill made a loud return to social media, this time swapping threats for full-on denial. Across Twitter, Instagram, and live videos, he insisted he had no connection to Diddy's private affairs, even posting, "I don't even know that man like that." In one clip, he repeatedly chanted, "No Diddy, no Diddy," leaving fans puzzled. Was it just a firm denial or overcompensation?
My man, I can't judge Meek Mill as a man. I don't know Meek Mill as a person. You understand? And if he wants to say no Diddy, no homo, no this, no that, that's his choice. I know a lot of Philly dudes and they strong out there, and some of my people are cool with Meek Mill. You understand? People. Some of my people are cool with Meek Mill's people. Meek Mills was a young guy, and Diddy was an influencer, and he may have influenced a lot of things that Meek Mills got caught up in the game in. Brother, I don't know Meek Mills as a man. You understand? I know some of his people through my people who knows his people. If Meek Mills want to say no Diddy, if Meek Mills want to say no homo, I don't have a problem with Meek Mill doing that. Meek Mill's got to deal with what he got to deal with based on the relationship him and Puff had. Dressing alike, being cozy, Puff calling him daddy, saying little innuendos to him. People are looking at that and saying Meek Mill is wrong for saying no Diddy. But you can't tell a man how to spend his money and how to make love to his wife or his Diddy. So, I don't know. I don't know, Mike. I just don't know.
Nah, I feel you, man. You know, I get it, man. I see where you're coming from. But I gotta ask you about this party, right, that Diddy threw for Meek Mill. You heard about how the owner, she came out saying that she found used condoms, lubricant, razor blades, powder, blood on the bed sheets. You heard about this?
No, what happened was is that Diddy had rented a mansion out for Meek Mill's birthday party, and he had rented it for like $25,000. I remember we rented one of Cher's mansion out, you know what I'm saying? And that's the day he had fired his cook, but that's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? It was me, Wolf, Mace, Ock. Was Ock staying there? No, just me, Wolf, Mace, Puff, and there was one other person staying in the mansion. But anyway, long story short is that they came recently. This happened a long time ago, but they recently just made a statement that they found loads of. I wonder what they did with because they didn't turn it over to the police. They said they found loads of razor blades. They said that the sheets were bloody, nasty. They found a whole lot of used condoms. And it was a Diddy party, giving in Meek Mill's honor for his birthday. I was like, yo, wow. They said it was disgusting the way that they left the place. So I know they got hit with another bill on top of that $25,000 and the different deposits they had to put down for cleanup and all this other stuff. It was crazy. It was one of the property managers they had rented out.
Just when it seemed like Meek Mill was distancing himself from the headlines, he dropped a new track, and one lyric caught everyone off guard. I hope they forgive me for what I did with Diddy. Wait, what? Fans hit rewind. Was it a metaphor, a misunderstood line, or something deeper? The internet lit up with theories. As Meek's reputation faces new scrutiny, actor Terrence Howard stepped into the conversation, criticizing the broader industry and suggesting that Meek might be more of a product of the system than a player in it. So, what's the truth? Misinterpreted lyrics or something more? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. Until next time, stay tuned and stay sharp.
Meek Mill addresses Diddy rumors. No man or what would ever approach me about gay activity and the whole place don't get flipped. And Meek Mill tweeted out, I'm from Philly. I don't do coke or freaky ass Molly. Nobody won't ever offer me coke because I'm that heavy. No man or what would ever approach me about gay activity and the whole place don't get flipped. Woke up seeing this on every blog like they know I'm coming. I mean, Meek Mill, he called you daddy and the only thing you flipped was your wrist? I mean, after all, that boy called you daddy in a pool. Stop it. What the he adding LOL for? Ain't funny. He's saying this as if he don't hang with the entire industry. The he talking about? Nobody said you did coke or Molly. They saying you and Diddy was getting groovy. The hell? I never expected the downfall of Meek Mill to be him getting his cheeks clapped by Diddy. He said you putting that work in, daddy. Meanwhile, Meek's ass was hurting in the pool.
All right, so Meek Mill recently, he's on camera.
Yeah, I hope you got somebody woke up on with a camera.
No
But
Diddy.
what did he say?
No Diddy. No Diddy gang
Like,
or something.
no Diddy gang, yeah. Like he just trying to separate himself every chance he gets because he feel like every time he turn around, someone is pointing at him, saying he's part of it or he's gay or whatever the rumors are.
Supposedly there's a guy online claiming to be one of his security guards. Said he was at the Diddy party, standing outside a door that Diddy and Meek was on the inside of, and he recorded some audio, which sounds crazy. I ain't believe it, but you got it. The lengths that motherfuckers would go, pause. The lengths that people will go to, like just to discredit you, or I don't know this guy. I've never seen him in Meek Mill's entourage. I don't know if any of the things that he's saying is true, but it's doing numbers on the internet.
Real life. No Diddy gang, Meek Mill in real life. Don't ever disrespect me, you heard?
Wow, they say Meek Mill is now claiming no Diddy gang. Bless his heart. Oh, academic crazy. Oh, Justin said, shaking my head. Wow. I don't get enough out there talking about Diddy, boy. His son gonna pull up on y'all, boy. It's crazy work.